what would be some of your advice for people who are, trying to launch an independent film career? Obviously, that's where they're going to get started anyway. You produced a lot of films. Any advice that you would give starting filmmakers, getting off the ground?
Yeah, there's, the traditional, we used to call them in the 90s mini majors, or there was a, lack of a better term, because there was the majors were getting into this situation where they like to buy indies. And so Sundance became more of a market, and even though it's a wonderful film festival, you started to see some of the studios go up there and start smaller labels to help release these movies. And that was an incredible time, and then it dissipated in some manner. And so there is that traditional route of sending your screenplay out to some of the smaller financiers for a distribution deal and some foreign sales deals. But I say you're more famous in St. Louis than you are in LA, so you might as well stay in St. Louis and figure out what that is like to finance a movie. If you do feel like you have to go to Texas or somewhere else because your script calls for it, you're going to need money. And money, as we all know, is the greatest cliche ever, is it doesn't grow on trees. And you're going to have to find out how much your movie costs, because that's going to be the first question when your screenplay is done. You're going to hand it to your aunt or uncle or your dad or your brother or your sister or a friend that's somewhere connected to an industry, and they're going to say, well, how much is it going to be? Know the number and the price you have on your screenplay. And then that will tell you where you're going to get your money from, because some of the times when you say, well, I think it's going to cost $1 million, you're probably going to have a lot of cousins and aunts and uncles and doctors drop in that script right there. So you're going to have to go to a situation that you're going to be able to have somebody finance it. And that can be anybody. And that also can be, why not try to go back to the traditional way? Because there are a lot of people here in Hollywood that are still making the movies, because the revolution I believe, is back in that independent form. There are more movies being made, more product being made than I've ever seen in the last, say, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. That's great advice. And I think you would agree, when you're figuring out that budget as well, be honest with yourself, because some people over-exaggerate and get a little overzealous, and not to sacrifice quality, obviously, and not to sacrifice vision, but to also be realistic of what you can sacrifice if you have to, if you only have a certain amount of money.